أتاني مرة نزق ليسألني بما دنت، فقلت له أنا رجل أحب الله يا أنت، أتسأل كيف منهاجي أما بالحق آمنت، عباد الله إخواني فكن منهم إذا شئت، وكن معنا على حذر من التفريق إن صنت.
وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. قال عمر بن شعيب وعن أبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم: خير الدعاء دعاء يوم العرفة، وخير ما قلت أنا ونبيون من قبلي لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. رواه مسلم وبخاري متفق عليه. وقال جابر قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما من أيام أفضل عند الله من أيام 10 ذي الحجة، وما من يوم أفضل عند الله من يوم عرفة، ينزل الله إلى السماء الدنيا. ورواه مسلم ورواه بخاري متفق عليه. I bear witness there's no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Allah's final messenger, and there will be no messengers after him. And we send our blessings and salutations upon Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala ajma'een as well. And I always say in my khutbahs that if it wasn't for the Sahaba, me and you, we wouldn't have enjoyed this religion. And today we've got a very important matter in our hand. And as you guys know, we're in the best of, and I recited some of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Muslim and Bukhari. One of the hadith that I recited was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Allah, the best of the days that could have ever existed on this land that we breathe in are the days of Dhil Hijjah. And the best day, if Allah was to choose one day over the other, which Allah has already chosen, and that's the day of Arafaat. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me and you to see that day again. Some of us will be celebrating this day tomorrow with the Hijjah, and some of us will be celebrating this day on Sunday. So no matter what day you choose to celebrate, there are some advices I want to give you, and to make the most in these days. And we know we've existed in a time where we've lived for many years. Even after the time of the Sahaba, we have had many ikhtilaf when it came to the moon. And even the moon sometimes looks at us and laughs that these people can't get me right. But having said that, no matter which moon you saw, which eye you saw it from, if your day is Saturday, be happy with it and make the most of it. And if your day is not Saturday, it's Sunday, be happy with that as well, because that's again a day created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and make the most of it. That's the whole point. And on Arafat today, I'll draw an analogy. I'm going to only choose very, very important things about the day of Arafat, with something which me and you, we can benefit. So as you know, I started with the favor of the days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He favored the planets, over all the planets, Allah favored the planet Earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created all His creations, out of all the creations, He favored Jannah, and He made it His most loved place, and He wants all us to inspire that. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all the seasons, all the months. Out of those months, He chose 4 to be sanctuous, to be the months that had more hurma over the others. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the nights. Out of all the nights, Allah chose the nights of Ramadan, particularly the night of Laylatul Qadr, to be the most virtuous. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the days. Out of all the days, today is one of the days that Allah chose for us to be one of the best days. And then Allah narrowed it down and He chose one of the days from the whole entire 360 days of a Muslim calendar. He chose the day of Arafaat. And as I said when I started the khutbah, it is tomorrow for some of you and it's Sunday for some of you. I know some people will not be happy with this statement because I am a Sunday person myself, so I have to keep myself in the loop as well, or else I'm not going to get any rewards. So, having said that, then Allah made the prophets, and with the prophets, Allah made 124,000 prophets. Out of them, Allah chose one to be favored over all the other prophets. And you know who that prophet is? We say his kalima every day. We say his name every day. And that's none other than Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose out of the creation of the living. Allah chose Bani Adam. And me and you, we are from Bani Adam. And Allah actually chose us. And Allah honored us. Allah honored us over all the creations. So that's how Allah favors things. And that's why to Allah, the best of the day is the day of Arafat. And I want to read something for you guys. And probably you guys don't know this. And this is mentioned by Umar ibn Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu. And this is the hadith which is mentioned in Muslim again. Rawahu Muslim. قال عمر ابن عبد الله بن عمر قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في حجة الوداع ألا أي شهر تعلمونها أعظم. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is asking on the last day, and this is the day of Hajj, and this was the only massive gathering Rasulullah ever had. After that, he never had any gathering of this kind, because he only lived 2.5 months after that. The only Hajj he did, and that was the Hajj he did. And it was a Friday, it was Yawmul Arafah, and he was asking the question. He asked people that which of the months has the most sanctuaries. So they say this is the month the Hijjah has the most sanctity. And then he asked, which of the places do you know has the most sanctity? And they said, the place, the land where we stand, Makkah, has the most sanctity. And then he kept on going and he said, which of the days is the most sanctuous? And again, all the people said, it's the day of Arafat. So the day itself is huge. It's huge. And did you know that? Another hadith, which is again mentioned, and this is mentioned in Ibn Hibban, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions in this hadith, إن الله أخذ ميثاق من ظهر آدم بنعمان, that on the day of Nu'man, يعني Arafah, which actually means Arafah, on that day Allah took a covenant. Allah took a covenant, and from the back of Adam alayhi salam, from the loins of Adam alayhi salam. Loin is a body part, if you guys don't know. It's right in the back where the two parts of your body join in the spine. And from there, Allah took everyone out. Everyone. Did you know that? Some of you probably are going to get the shock of your life. Everyone was there. I was there. Did you know that? You guys were there. Everyone who sits over here, you were there. Mr. Jihad was there. Mr. Hamoud was there. And Salahuddin, you're looking around, you were there as well. Everyone was there. You all were there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked you a question. That, Alastu bi Rabbikum? That, am I not your Lord? And then you said, Bala. Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you said to Allah, you are our Lord. Do you know what day that was? That was the day of Arafah. And you guys probably think I'm making this up. This is the hadith of Rasulullah. He said we all were created. We were in a gathering like this. You multiply it with billions and billions and billions of people. Everyone was there. We were all standing and we said to God, we worship you, we believe in you, and you're the Lord. And today we've come and we've forgotten that. And we've forgotten that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually mentioned this in Surah Araf. That after taking the pledge, when you're going to go back, then when you'll be reminded for that, you'll say, yes, we forgot that. We can't remember. We only did what our forefathers did. And so, it is a huge day. It's a huge day in our lives that we will be experiencing. And another narration, another powerful narration. And this is where Umar ibn al-Khattab, a Jewish man, comes to Umar ibn al-Khattab and he says to him that if we were given this ayah, one ayah that you were given, we would have celebrated that day. We would have made that day special in our lives. And Umar ibn al-Khattab said, what ayah are you talking about? And he said, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم إسلام دين. That today I have completed your religion for you. And also I've completed my favor. And you have chosen Islam as your religion. And you preferred, and I have preferred, Allah is saying to the mankind that He's preferred this for you, and you have chosen it as your religion. And at that point, Umar ibn Khattab says, I remember that day. That day was Arafaat, and that day was on a Friday. And Rasulullah was talking to us, and these verses came down to us. Do you know, one of the things that I want to give you an analogy of my own, if you were to told, and that's a simple analogy, for the teachers I'm going to give a different analogy, for the students I'm going to use a different example. If the students, and especially the gamers, they like to have internet which is really fast, because you have this term, and you know, personally myself, my son sits over here, and he always says this word lagging, and I really did not understand what this lagging is. I'm not very bad at English personally. I'm like, what's lagging? So it just keeps on saying it's laggy, and then I understood what's laggy. So the games are hanging, and you're not getting the speeds. So if I was to tell you, there is a time in the day when your games are going to work fast, they're not going to be lagging, and you'll have a fast connection. And you know what? That's the day tomorrow. That's the day when the dua will be fast. There will be high-speed internet, Wi-Fi connection between you and Allah. And it's not going to be lagging. There's going to be no traffic. You're going to make a dua, and that connection is going to go straight from you to Allah. And for the staff, you know, my brothers and my sisters, my analogy for you guys, we all want to get home, we want to beat the traffic. For the ones who lived on the other side of the world who require visa to come to Kellyville, for those guys, you want to be in your cars at 4:29, let's say. And if you're in the car at 4:29, you probably can beat the check post and be in your house. But if you leave at 4:30, you're stuck at the check post, and then you get home late. So if I was to tell you, you leave at 4:28, you're going to beat all the checkposts, and today you don't need a stamp on your passports to go back to home. You're going to be happy. You're going to leave at that particular time, 4:28. So tomorrow we have that time where Wi-Fi is fast. We're talking about 1000 Mbps. Some of you probably haven't even heard that speed. So, and for the ones who are going on the other side of the world they live, you're going to be having a road that you're traveling 1 o'clock in the midnight, where you have no traffic on the road, and that is tomorrow. And for the ones who don't know what time it is, it's after the Fajr Salah is over. From that time, there'll be no traffic till Maghrib. And also for the Sunday people, because I'm a Sunday person, for us, don't worry, Fajr on a Sunday morning, all the way till Maghrib on a Sunday morning, when the other guys will be eating udhiyah, we will be the ones who are going to be fasting, and we'll be looking at these people but we're going to be praying as well. So make the most of it. These are the time, these are the ayyam that we should be smart. And I want to finish off the first part on this. You know, when in English, when you say holiday, you know, holiday, if you break it, it means holy day. And for Muslims, every holiday is a holy day. The month of Ramadan is a season of holiday. So it's holy days for us. And the month of Hijjah is a holy day. Again, it's a holy days for us. So when Muslims celebrate their holy days, or celebrate their holidays, how do they celebrate? We remember Allah. We have an extra prayer on that day. We have extra ibadah on that day. We have to say extra zikr on that day. And that's how Muslims celebrate holy days. Or in English, holidays. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم واستغفر الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I want to give you guys an action plan, and inshallah I want to finish on that. So action plan is very simple. You know, we've been talking about how great this day is, how amazing this day is. So what do we want to do on this day? From Fajr Salah, I said the barakah is starting from Fajr. So what do you want to do before Fajr? This is what you want to do, okay? عن أبي قتادة وعن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وسئل عن صوم يوم عرفة فقال يكفر سنة المادية والباقية. So if you fasted on the day of Arafah, you kaffir sana. So you will be forgiven the sins of 1 year. Madiyah wa baqiyah. So the last year's sins and the year which is about to come. So 2 years worth of reward is out there. If you are able to fast, fast. And I think everyone over here, except for the last 2 lines, are able to fast. Fast. Don't worry about McDonald's. It's not going to close down in 1 day. Don't worry about KFC and other things. Fast on that day. Allah is giving you a wholesale forgiveness for 2 years worth of sins. If you're not going to have water, and if you're not going to have your Boost energy drinks for 12 hours, fast is very easy. If some of you only prayed Fajr in Ramadan, let me refresh your memory. Fajr Salah is still happening as it happened in Ramadan. And nowadays it's happening at 5:15. And the time you break your fast, if you only broke your fast or kept your fast in Ramadan, it's still going on the same way, but now it's you're breaking your fast for iftar is 5:25. Simple. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Sorry, 12 hours and 10 minutes. That's how long you're going to be away from food and drink. And I tell you what, you've got science teachers sitting at the back. You can live without water for at least 3 days. And you can live without food for at least 7 days. So don't worry, if I said you can live without, the science can help you more. And if you believe in science, it will tell you can actually live more than 12 hours without water and without a drink and without food as well. What that will do to you is just amazing. You cannot even imagine. Now the second thing on the action plan is Tahleel. And this is the hadith that I recited in the Khutbah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, خير دعائي دعاء يوم العرفة وخير ما قلت أنا ونبيون من قبلي لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. Now what's Tahleel? Me and you were renewing our iman. And that's what we're going to do the whole day tomorrow. And guess what? Because I was a coach of the football game, football season's over. So your kids don't have to go out and play football. Tomorrow's a free day. So tomorrow is a free day. So for the ones listening, tomorrow you need to renew your faith. How are you going to do it? You have to go and remember that there is only one God in your life. There's only one God in your life. And I want to, but the translation in itself is very self-explanatory, but I just want to go in the last part. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and this is for everyone, we all are going through difficulty and hard time. This is an amazing part. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لَهُ الْمُلْكُ وَلَهُ الْحَمْدُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Allah is the one who has power over everything. Everything. Everything Allah has power. So if you've got difficulty in your life, you're thinking of doing things and they become difficult, don't worry. Allah is saying, I control everything. If things are not working in your life, don't worry. Allah is telling you, I have power over everything. If you cannot learn something and it's becoming hard, Allah is saying, don't worry. I've got power over that as well. If you are going through crisis in your own lives, whatever kind of crisis they are, Allah is saying, don't worry. I've got you in control. Why? Because I've got power over that as well. And if you are not really doing that well, Allah is saying, don't worry. I've got you. Why? Because I've got power over everything. And now, the last thing. Last thing is one of my amazing things. Something I always do, and something I always encourage people to do. And what is that? خير دعاء يوم العرفة. The best of the dua is the dua on Yawm al-Arafah. Now let me tell you a story to understand what I mean. You have the whole time to make dua. The whole time, the whole day. And dua, for the ones who don't understand, dua is supplication. Dua is a prayer where you sit down, you raise your arms, and you say and you humble yourself. And you say, I am the most poorest person in the entire world. And I cannot do anything on my own. And oh God, you're the only one who can do. God, you're the only one who can change my life. Let me tell you a story, a real story. My story that has me a part in it. I wish I was the main character, but unfortunately I'm not the main character. But I was there. When I went on Hajj in 2011, they give you food after Dhuhr and Asr is prayed in Jama' and Qasr. It is around 1:30 because by that time Masjid Nimra finishes the Khutbah, and when they finish the Khutbah, they finish the Salah. So all the Hujjaj who are in Arafaat in different places, they pray in their own khaymas. Like whatever tent you are in, you just pray Salah with that tent. So once they do that, they give you these packs of food. They're not there to fill yourself up and go to sleep, which some of us did on that day, but they're there to keep you going. That's why the people in Arafah, they do not fast. Because Rasulullah never fasted when he was the Khatib of Arafah. And when he did Hajj, he never fasted. Umar never fasted. Abu Bakr never fasted. Uthman never fasted. Ali never fasted. Don't get me wrong, when they were doing Hajj, they never fasted. But when they were not there, they fasted. So for us, Allah is the same. For the Hujjaj, Allah is the same. For me and you, Allah is the same. If Allah is granting them an amazing pleasure, amazing forgiveness, that God is my God and your God as well. And He will do that for me, you in Australia, how He's doing it over there. So now, the story, to cut it short, I saw a man after food around 1:45. This time in 2011 is when Maghrib comes at 5:45. After a while, I finished reading some parts of the Quran. I looked at this man. At 1:45, I saw him next to a wall, crying, making dua. And this is after I finished everything. This was around 3 o'clock. I saw him, he was still there, and he was still crying, he was still making dua. I said to myself, you know what? I wasted the day. Look at this man. He's really asking Allah for everything. I started making dua. I got tired after a few. My limbs started hurting. I couldn't raise my hands for a long. I looked around at 4 o'clock. He was still there. Now I could see underneath him where he was standing. It was really wet. Don't think he urinated. He was crying. He was crying, and his tears were coming down as if you have opened a tap. And he's just making dua. This is at least from 1:45. We're talking about 2 hours and 15 minutes he's been there. He hasn't moved. Today we tell you to stand up quietly and to just be quiet and listen to the teacher. You can't do that for 30 seconds. We tell you to sit down over here, listen to the khutbah. You can't do that for 5 seconds. This man's been making dua for 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's not finished yet. 5:15, when everyone started worrying about which bus they're going to sit to go to Muzdalifah, I look at the same man. He's still there. Still crying. Still hands are up. 5:15. This is 3.5 hours into his dua. At 5:45, when I sat in the bus, he was still there, making dua. Now I challenge you guys, and myself as well. What are you going to do tomorrow? And the Sunday people, what are you going to do on Sunday? You know what? The Sunday people, I'll tell you one thing. Utilize tomorrow and Sunday. You get 2 days. Don't just say, you know what, I'm going to do it on Sunday. Fast tomorrow and Sunday. Make the most of it. So what are you going to do tomorrow? How long are you going to make your dua? Are you just going to do the way you do it? Oh Allah, give me 4 nights, Ameen. Or are you going to make the real dua and you're going to ask for everything? And you know what's the best dua? Quran tells you. رَبَّنَا عَاتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. What did Quran tell you? 2/3 of your dua has to be for akhirah. And 1/3 of your dua has to be for this world. So if you're asking something for this world, ask 2 things for hereafter as well. And I leave you with that, and we make a little dua very quickly, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to really raise our ranks. And also we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us see the day of Arafaat. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from the Hujjaj who are at Hajj, and to accept it from them Hajj Maqboola. And also we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow me and allow all of us over here to go to the house of Allah frequently. Allah allows us to be there every year. And we also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help the Muslims who are suffering all around the world, particularly the Muslims who are suffering at the moment in India itself, in Kashmir itself, in Palestine itself, in other places of the world. Really ask Allah to Syria, and we ask Allah to bless the Muslims, and not just the Muslims. We're not people who are frugal. We ask Allah to bring peace and security to the world. Wherever people are suffering and going through hardship, Allah bring an ease to their lives. And we ask Allah, and I know you're my listeners forever. You guys really make me say things from my heart. I ask Allah today, and I've never done this before, to all my listeners, to the kids, and to the people who sit over here, my friends. Allah accepts everything from you. Whatever you need from this dunya, Allah gives it to you. Whatever you need from the akhirah, Allah gives it to you. آمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيمن توليت، وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت، وقنا واصرف عنا بفضلك شر ما قضيت، فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى إليك، فإنه يذل من ولعت ولا يعز من عاديت، تبارك ربنا وتعالى. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات، ومنهم الأحياء والأموات. اللهم كن لإخواننا في مصر يا رب العالمين، وفي لبنان يا رب العالمين، وفي الشام يا رب العالمين، وفي فلسطين يا رب العالمين، وفي باكستان يا رب العالمين، وفي أفغانستان يا رب العالمين، وفي هند يا رب العالمين، وفي كشمير يا رب العالمين، وفي سين يا رب العالمين، وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم ثبت قلوبنا، اللهم ثبت أقدامنا يا مقلب القلوب، ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم عاتب رقابنا وعاتق رقابنا وآبائنا وأمهاتنا وبناتنا وأبنائنا يا رب العالمين ومشايخنا يا رب العالمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أقيم الصلاة.